Suave.
I've been in my bag for a while, I'm invincible. Story of a young boss, grinding shit get critical. Calling on my bros one time, cause you special. I had some hoop dreams of right rounds for my mentor. Every target that I shoot is on point like a pencil. Different road, changed relationships, I'm so sorry. Came up from the trenches and I made it, I say hardly. Now
Bet Online is your number one source for all of your summer sports this season, from MLB, golf, NBA, and NHL playoff stats. All the latest stats, news, and scores are available to follow your favorite teams. Get the latest odds and lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Bet Online, where the game starts. All righty, guys, we are back with another episode of the What's in Your Bag podcast presented by Bet Online. As always, I'm your host, Andrew Robinson. And before we get into our special guest of the day, man, we got to get the business out of the way. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and stop what you're doing, man. Tap that subscribe button, man. It goes a long, long way. Give us a thumbs up. Tap that like button. Give us some feedback. Tell a friend or tell a friend. If you're hearing this on Spotify or Apple Music, go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. Follow the show. It goes a long way, man. Just getting the good gospel of the What's in Your Bag podcast out to those who need to hear it. That was my guy, Pull Up Tay, on the intro. It's going to be him as well on the outro. Make sure you guys tap into his music. One of the hottest up-and-coming artists out of the DMV. But without further ado, man, now that we got the business out of the way, today we are joined by somebody who I've been trying to, I've been following for a while on Instagram, tapping into the content, the buckets, man. I feel like the basketball community is so small because this guy actually played with one of my best friends, one of my brothers, one of the M&Ms, as you guys know, on the What's in Your Bag podcast, my guy Isaiah out in Israel. But we're pleased to be joined by Ike Iroegbu, who's currently out in the ACB balling in Girona, but has been all over the world, France, Israel, like we mentioned, Germany. So we're excited to talk to you, man, and thanks for coming on the show today, Ike.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
No doubt, man. And like I mentioned, we got a lot to talk about as far as just your overseas journey, man. You got a lot of fun things that we're gonna get into later on to the episode. But before we get into all that, man, I'll be remiss if I didn't start it off with what's going on right now in the basketball world with the playoffs, man, because it's a crazy basketball going on right now, man. Dudes going off. Tyrese Maxey just had 46 the other night. It was crazy in the Garden. I know it's hard to watch the playoffs overseas because the games be coming on middle of the night. You know what I mean? But what have you been able to watch so far or check out, even just highlights? What have you been surprised about so far going on with the playoffs?
It's been a great playoffs, but the thing I noticed the most is how big of a difference, especially this year, how big of a difference the playoffs is from the regular season. Like just the fouls that aren't being called, how physical it is, and even if you look at it, the scores is such low scoring compared to the regular season. Like there are some games that might touch like 130, 140 in the regular season for the NBA. And I think at the end of this last game for the Knicks and Philly, going into overtime was 97-97, So it's like, honestly, it's kind of reminds me like a Europe a little bit, like how the game slows down. You take care of every possession. You don't really see guys shooting, like coming down, like no shot pass, like they move it side to side and try to get the best shot available. So that, and then just seeing how explosive some guys are, like Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, of course. And then those are just some of the guys at the top of my head. But yeah, it's been real exciting to watch. And then even like Jamal Murray, like he comes alive in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like if he doesn't hit, like the Lakers are 2 shots away from being 2-2.
Yep.
Possibly. So it's like it's been crazy.
Yeah. I feel like the one thing that I love watching the playoffs is like the chess match that goes on, man. And it's like it's certain dudes, like for example, Sixers with Buddy Hield, bro. Buddy Hield can't even get on the floor in the playoffs at all because he, like, I guess he can't guard or whatever the case may be. But it's like you watching the Clippers and Mavericks series, and you watching dudes. Okay, come set that pick and roll with Luka. Okay, switch. Now we attacking. Or Harden, they pulling freaking Maxi Cleveland to the ball screen, getting a switch, and Harden's getting right into the lane. It's like, yo, if you can't guard it's like it's nowhere to hide. They might
You
set
can't
3 ball screens.
yeah, you definitely can't hide because they're like they're gonna go at you in some type of fashion. Like either if you can't guard the ball, if you're a weak side defender, they're gonna make sure you're in that weak side on that pick and roll, get to the pick and roll, and make you choose. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna find a way to expose you some way somehow.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Now, one thing that I'm looking forward to after the playoffs is obviously the Olympics. Now we got obviously Paris coming up, and um, you had opportunity to play for Team Nigeria in the tune-up, getting ready for the last Olympics in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Are y'all qualified for the Olympics this year in Paris, or is it a
Nah,
qualifying
we not
tournament?
we not qualified. I don't know when Nigeria is going to be qualified again. It's like the whole. The thing is about that. It's not even the basketball wise. It's the government that kind of messed that up in that trajectory for Nigerian basketball. But this next Olympics though, it's going to be exciting for sure, especially with it being in Paris.
Yeah. So is it already over? Like Nigeria can't go, or are you guys playing a tournament? Like I know there's like the qualifying tournament because that's crazy, bro. Like y'all was on the up and up. It's a lot of Nigerians in the league. It's crazy.
We was on the up and up, ain't even a word, but we was doing our thing. We was really setting the tone for years to come, and then it just got cooked after we beat Team USA 2021, then we beat Argentina. Those were just like tune-up games, and then we got ready to make cuts for the Olympic team to go to the Olympics, and then I was cut. My man Stan Okoye that plays for Andorra right now in ACB, he was cut. Ike Iroegbu, who was like the guy who orchestrated and got Nigerian basketball to a place of like relevance again, was cut. Ben Uzo, like some of the guys that really like made it to what it was, they just kind of pushed them to the side. And then if you had an NBA tag, it was like, all right, like you good. And then that didn't work. Obviously, you see, like you can't just put like a lot of good players together. You got to have an actual team and people to play their roles and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
So then they went over and lost all their games in the Olympics, and then because the guys have the NBA, because the guys are in the NBA, they can't play in like the qualifying tournaments to qualify for the Olympics. But because they cut the guys that were able to play in those qualifying tournaments, those same guys, myself included, didn't want to play. So then you can't ask the NBA guys to play because they're in season. So it's like, all right, now we got to get all these other guys that haven't been in the system and really don't know what it takes to qualify and stuff like that to try and qualify, and it just didn't go well. So then missed out on opportunity for the Olympics this last Olympics and something else too. But I really don't worry about that no more. I just focus on what I'm doing.
Yeah, I feel you, man. So I do want to ask you though, since we're on the topic, because I feel like from the outside looking in, right? Like I'm obviously not Nigerian, but I have a bunch of people who I know. First of all, one of my boys, Mie Only, he went to Yale. I was at Quinnipiac. Yeah.
That's what.
So he went to school like 10 minutes away from me. So I used to always see, bro. Like we was locked in back in New Haven, man, running crazy in the New Haven streets. But obviously guys like him, Okogie, they picked up Jaleel Okafor, like, and on the outside, it's like, oh, great. You know what I mean? We're getting to see these NBA guys playing for Team Nigeria, right? Like, Jaleel Okafor was playing for Team USA back when he was in high school because we came out the same year, 2014, and now he's playing for Team Nigeria. But on the other hand, like you said, you have guys who were those kind of pioneers, right? Who helped us get to where we are. You know what I mean? And they kind of had to make that choice. So it's kind of like six in one hand, half dozen in the other. Because on the one hand, you do want to see the NBA guys in the Olympics, but on the other hand, it's like, damn, we got to do right by the guys who helped us get here. So what do you think going forward, right? Because like you mentioned, man, Nigeria basketball is only going to go up from here. You know what I mean? You have so many other guys who are coming up through the pipeline, whether you're in college guys or NBA guys now, who are going to be on the cusp of making that team going forward in future Olympics. So where do you think the balance has to come in, right? When you're factoring in, okay, do we need the biggest names or do we want to continue to stick with the guys who helped us get here? Like, where do you fall on that side of the coin?
That's a great question. I don't think it's just the guys that make the team. A lot of it has to do with the government as well, like the logistics on how they run the team, like training camps, making sure everyone gets a good flight, make sure everyone gets proper per diem. But when it comes to the players and the team, I think they have to have uh, a cohesive unit. And I don't think that starts with the NBA players because, like I said, they can't always play. So I think that starts with everyone that can play, find a cohesive unit, and then build around that with the NBA players, kind of mix and match. But you have to have a unit because that's the thing that all these other countries have on teams in Africa. They play together from the moment they're like honestly like 15 and up.
Yeah.
They might like switch a guy here and there, but for the most part, there's at least maybe I would say 4 to 7 guys that have cohesive chemistry for years on years on years. So I think that's one thing that Nigeria has to do. And the thing that's crazy is that like we had that for a little bit, like it happened randomly, but we had it all up until that point, and then it kind of just like went out the window. But I think for them to get back to where they were, they would have to try to do that same thing again, but be intentional with it this time.
Yeah. Yeah. So last thing I'll ask on the Olympics, I'm looking forward to watching this summer. It's gonna be crazy, man. But obviously, Team USA picked up Embiid. How do you feel about that, man? Because obviously he's from, I think, Cameroon originally, right? He's from Cameroon.
Yeah.
He had the French thing he could did, and he went with Team USA, man. So what's your 2 cents on that? Do you think like he made the right move? Would you like to see him play with, France or a different team? Like, what's your 2 cents on the topic?
Honestly, I won't be too hypocritical because when I was 15, I got invited to play for Team USA when I was in high school, and then years down the line, ended up playing for Nigeria and stuff like that. But the only thing that I think about Embiid's situation was that he committed to France, and then he got pulled, and then he backed out. Like he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna play with France," and then he backed out and said, "Okay, I'm gonna play with Team USA," and then that's a done deal. That's the thing that kind of doesn't seem that right to me. But
Yeah.
I mean, to each his own. But but there are some countries that do need to nationalize players. Like I know Japan nationalizes a few players, and China and stuff like that, and a few other countries, which is cool. But there are also some countries that I feel like don't need to do that at all. And like Spain, I don't think Spain needs to do that. USA for sure. Like I don't know. USA could have got anyone else. Like they would have been fine. But at the same time, like all these other countries are getting better, man. Like you see Serbia, they always got some hitters with them. Like they always bring their A game, no matter who they got. France is for sure. They didn't play good at this last World Cup, but I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna add Wemby,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be nice, especially with it being in Paris. Like
Right.
like they're probably gonna go crazy. So all these other countries are looking good. So I mean, you see, Team USA brought the Avengers out. So so it's like all right, like I guess that's what they got to do. That's what they got to do.
Yeah, man. Listen, USA keep getting they feet whopped in the freaking World Cup, man. Like, you know what I mean? We in medal 2 straight years, bro. It's like I think we've reached the point, and this has been spoken about, but it's like the rest of the world has gone to the point where if the USA don't bring out the Avengers, it might be slow. You know what I
You
mean?
know,
Like,
it's super slow. It's super slow for sure.
but we
For
can't.
sure.
And Exhibit A, like when you guys beat Team USA, they still even then they had Draymond, they had KD out there, they had like multiple All Stars on the floor, and it's like, L, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you're not bringing your best out, if you're not
Oh,
bringing
yeah.
the group out, it's over.
That was so funny about that. I always tell people this is that so that day we all wake up, we go down to the conference room and watch film on them, right? And on the whiteboard they had the starting five. They said Damian Lillard at the 1, Bradley Beal at the 2. Um, I think it was Bradley Beal at the 2, Zach LaVine at the 3, KD at the 4, and Bam Adebayo at the 5. And then so we're watching film. It's like, all right, guys, Damian Lillard, this is what he does. And I was like, bro, like, you don't gotta watch me you don't gotta show me any of these guys' clips, bro. I know what they all do, bro. like I know Dave's for the shoot long three, come from pick and roll, split it, do something, like Bradley Beal, like all that stuff, bro. So it's like, but the thing is, like, leading up to that game, we had heard like little rumblings about like their select team playing playing better than the actual team, you know? So we're like, all right, like they might have a chink in the armor and stuff like that. And then come game time, we just like went out and hooped and then ended up beating them.
What was your favorite moment from the game or exchange? Or I guess like you out there and you look to your left and you see KD, look to your right, you see Dame, you like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like take me through maybe what your favorite moment was from playing that game.
My favorite moment for sure going shot for shot with KD. That shit was fire, bro. Like, I hit one, he hit one, I hit one again, and then he came back and hit one again. And it was like at the moment when it was happening, I didn't even like realize. I was just like, this guy got a bucket, I gotta get one too. Like, you know what I'm saying? But then after I was like, yo, I think I just went shot for shot with Katie. That shit was like the thing that did such a big thing for my confidence, like moving on, because I was like, bro, like don't ever let anyone tell me I can't shoot because I just went shot for shot with one of the greatest to touch a rock, bro. So I'm good. But that was pretty fire. And honestly, like just like kind of forgetting that Team USA was Team USA was cool because like once I got my first bucket, I was like, all right, like let's play basketball. You know, it's like well, we all been there, like you just once you getting comfortable, it's like it's just another game, just another day, you know.
Well, I mean, that's definitely an out of body experience, man. Not a lot of people gonna be able to say that they went shot for shot with KD, especially an experience like that. Do you remember after the game, did any of those guys come up to you guys and give you guys props or say anything to you guys after the game, give you guys credit for winning? Or it was kind of like
Nah,
it was salty
it was
vibe.
nah, it wasn't even assault. It was kind of funny because because like when we got back to the locker room, it was like normal, bro. Like ask anyone that was there, a part of that team, like we wasn't like it wasn't like champagne showers or anything like that. Everyone was like, all right, like, hey man, good game, y'all. Mike Brown came in, talked to us a little bit, and then we had to get because we had another game the next day, so we had to get ready for that one.
Right.
And then the thing that was funny to me was like we was walking out, we had showered, we were walking out of the arena, and KD was behind me. Now I look back and I was like, hey, bro, like good game. But I didn't mean it like and then he looked at me. I think he's trying to see if I was like on some like just like talking shit. And I was like dead ass, like, hey bro, like good shit out there, you know what I'm saying? And then he said good game for sure. Y'all did y'all thing, and that was cool. And then the funniest thing was I saw Bam out of body. And he Nigerian.
X.
You're, yeah, he Nigerian. So then like he like dapped us up, and it was like kind of awkward
He supposed to be with
because
us.
yeah, exactly. Like you should have been with us. Now you took an L. But it's whatever because they ended up winning the whole thing anyway at the Olympics. But that moment was helpful funny because like the way he looked at it was like, and then we just kept them pushing.
That's funny, man. So I want to switch gears a little bit, and it's funny you brought this up a little bit earlier about Japan and having a naturalized player because I played in Japan for a year and a half before I came out here to Australia, and that's a guy by the name of Josh Hawkinson that they have
Boy,
national team. You guys played together at Washington State, right?
sure, yeah, we was roommates. We was roommates for 3 years. I was
Hey, he get into a bag in Japan.
crazy. We're in the talks right now about me going to visit him when I get home.
Yo,
But yeah, bro, he's doing his thing. I remember after his first year, this was 2017, 2018. At first, first year overseas, homesick and stuff like that. And he was telling me like nah, like he really didn't like it that much. But then like it grew on him. And then after that next summer, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna play my whole career out in Japan. And I was just like, damn, like I've never felt that in any country I've been in. And I like Spain a lot. but to just say off the rip, like, yeah, I'm just my whole basketball career, I'm gonna just finish it out here. I just remember wanting that. But then after that first year, he talked about getting nationalized and getting a passport. And in Japan, some of these other countries, they'll just like hand you a passport, you know.
Yeah.
But Japan, you really gotta really work for it, bro. You gotta work for it. Like you gotta speak the language. I'm not too sure about writing the language,
Yeah, you
but
gotta be
I
able to
know,
write it, speak it.
yeah,
You gotta pay
you gotta
taxes
speak
for
it.
2 years.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Like you gotta be real fluent. And I just remember Josh sending me like the homework he would have to do and stuff like that, da da da. And then I'm pretty sure he got it this last summer, his Japanese passport. And then he called me and because once you get nationalized, that contract goes up a lot, of course.
Significantly.
And yeah, significantly. And he called me, it was like, Ike, it happened. Like the contract came in, bro, it happened. And I was just like, bro, I'm so happy for you. And then and now he's doing his thing. He's playing for a team in, I think, Nagoya is how you say the city.
Oh,
Or I'm pretty sure that's close.
Nagoya? I thought he was in wow, what's it bringing Shibuya. I thought he was Shibuya, Sun
Oh,
Rockets.
Shibuya, you're right. You're Shibuya, Shibuya.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Shibuya
was
Sun
it. That was
Rockets.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's in the middle
Shibuya.
of Tokyo, bro.
Yeah, right next to Tokyo, right next to Tokyo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he always tells me how much he loves it out there and stuff like that. So yeah, and Japan, and how like friendly the Japanese people are and the cultures and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm real happy for him.
No, that's awesome, man. I love Japan. I want to go back, man. Japan was an awesome experience, man. But talk to me about your time at Washington State, because I know that from the outside looking in, right? When I think about Washington State, I'm like, all right, you got Klay Thompson, but outside that, it's not really a basketball. Like, it's not really, it's like
No,
it's
no,
on
facts,
the other
facts,
side of the
facts.
country. You know what I mean? So talk me
Yeah,
through
nah,
the
that's cool.
process of like what made you choose Washington State, first of all, and then what
Yeah.
the experience was like hooping. Because when people think about the Pac-12, you would think UCLA,
For
Oregon,
sure,
USC,
for sure.
but like Washington State, you know what I mean, y'all way up there. So it's like, talk to me just about that whole process, and what your time
Yeah.
there was like.
So when I was in high school, I went to Oak Hill, right?
Yeah.
And that's in Virginia, right next to North Carolina. And I was being a Cali kid, going to a school for 2 years on the East Coast was a huge adjustment for me. Like I'm not seeing the sun like that. It's snowing, it's a lot colder than what I'm used to, bro. It was just OD, bro. So then after my experience at Oak Hill, it kind of was like a college experience. I'm living on campus and stuff like that. I gotta like go to bed at certain times and all that stuff, be responsible for myself, which was great. But after that experience, I was like, man, I'm kind of ready to get back to the West Coast in some type of fashion, right? And then I took a visit to Virginia Tech, and they really wanted me extremely. They wanted me a lot. The coach was like, I'm gonna play a lot as a freshman, ACC basketball and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Everything a freshman would want to hear, that's what he was telling me. But at the same time, I was like, man, like that flight back to the crib, that's a long flight, you know what I'm saying? Like, back all the way from Cali, man, I don't know. So then I went and visited Wazoo, and honestly, I was just like, man, because they were telling me the same thing as Virginia Tech, play a lot as a freshman, and when I went up there on my visit wasn't even all that great, but I just knew I wanted to be somewhere that like needed me and that where I was going to play. So now I was like, all right, I'm gonna come here, you know what I'm saying? Because I saw a need for my position and for myself. So I was like, all right, like let's do it. And then I got up there. And I was playing from day one. Like I think I started maybe 2 or 3 games my freshman year, but then sophomore to senior year, I started all the games, and I didn't end up going to the tournament at all. But honestly, like it was kind of tough, like because we lost a lot of games, but at the same time, like I got a hoop, and there's some things I wish that could have changed. But at the end of the day, it's like, man, I went to a 4-year school, did my thing, and then after that, turned pro, and ever since then, I've just been hooping. So, Wazoo was cool. Off the court was straight. did my thing. I had fun, and like, who doesn't have fun in college? You know what I'm saying? But on the court, wish we would have won more. But at the end of the day, man, like, it made me who I am. So it is what it is.
Sure. Now you're from Sacramento?
Yeah, Sac. Yep.
Man, that's crazy because I used to live in Sacramento for a year.
Really?
Yeah,
What
man.
part?
Pocket.
You used to live in Pocket?
Yeah, bro. I went to Genevieve Diddy in elementary school. I don't know if you're familiar with Genevieve Diddy. Yeah.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
My little brother went to Kennedy High School.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wow. I went to Sutter Middle School, and a lot of people from Sutter went to JFK.
Yeah, yep. My little brother went to Kennedy, and man, so I lived in Sacramento. I'm a real OG Sacramento because I was there when it was Arco Arena. I was there.
Facts.
My uncle had season tickets to the Kings and the Sacramento Monarchs. Like when
And
they
the
had
Monarchs.
Kara Lawson was on the team. It was Bonzi Wells, Brad Miller, Mike Bibby, like the OG Sacramento Kings.
Was that the year that the Monarchs won the championship?
Yes, we was out there, bro.
Yes. Okay, wow, that's fire, bro.
Yeah, man. So I was just out there last year because my uncle turned 70. So I was just there.
Okay.
Man, we went to the Kings game versus the Warriors at the Golden One Center.
All right, bro.
Yeah, got to go to the Fixins, the original Fixins. It was it's dope, man. So I respect it, man.
People be sleeping on Sac. People be sleeping on Sac, man. But Sac's a cool city.
Yeah, man. It's like where you could raise a family. You could raise
for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's dope, man. I always like to share that little nugget.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So I want to get into your pro career, man, and I feel like obviously you being overseas now, you got a whole lot we can unpack, but I'll be remiss if I didn't start this pro career journey with the first year with the Clippers. And so you have a crazy story that you have to share with our audience about your first call-up experience, and your first experience in the league. So for the people who might not be familiar with this story, could you walk us through how you got that call to play with the Clippers for the first time in the preseason your rookie year?
Yeah, I haven't talked about this in so long, man. This is so funny. Yeah, I got you, bro. Man, this was probably easily the craziest day of my life. Just a normal day in the summer, man. I'm just working out. Because when you graduate from college in that first year going pro, it's like you're kind of in like a limbo. You don't know what's going to happen and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so I just normal day, bro. I woke up. Back then I was doing yoga real early in the morning. So I think I woke up around 6. Had yoga at 7, from 7 to 8. And then, so 9:30, 11, I had to work out with my trainer. And then I went back to the crib, and me and my homie Theo, we was at the crib posted, and I was actually watching NBA TV, and the Clippers played the Kings, and it was just another day. And then my phone starts ringing. I look down, and it's my agent at the time, and he calls me and was like, I was like, yo, what's up? He's like, Ike, where you at? I was like, where am I at? Like, what you mean, bro? It's like a random Wednesday. Like, I'm at the crib. He's like, how far are you from the airport? How long will it take you to get to the airport? And I'm looking, I'm like, what are you on, bro? Because at this time,
it's like fall too, right? This is around like
October. Yeah, bro, yeah, because I had some NBA workouts. I think I had like six or 7 workouts, but like the workouts are done by now. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one's doing that. Right. And it's preseason, so the draft already happened. So I'm like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? So he's like, how far are you from the airport? I'm like, 25, 30 minutes. He's like, all right, I need you to pack a bag. You're gonna be playing with the Clippers tonight against the Lakers, and get to the airport as soon as you can. And I was like, what? I was like, yo, say that one more time. He was like, pack a bag, put your game shoes in the bag, wear something nice. You're gonna be playing with the Clippers against the Lakers tonight. And I was just like, okay. Luckily, my mom was at the crib. She worked from home, right? And I called, like, Mom. She's like, what? I was like, yo, I'm playing with the Clippers tonight. I need you to take me to the airport. She was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I'm gonna be playing with the Clippers tonight. I need you to take me to the airport right now. I'm go upstairs,
It's
pack a
not a
bag for
drill.
this
This is not a drill.
this is not a drill, bro. So then I go upstairs, throw random stuff in my bag. Had a decent fit on, threw some stuff in the bag. We out, and then we're on the way to the airport. Luckily, there was no traffic. Thank God there was no God was really on my side that day, bro. Because everything that could have gone wrong didn't, and everything that could have went right, bro. So then we get to the airport, and I get my boarding pass. But the thing was, my ticket was to. It wasn't to Orange County, but it was like a random airport that wasn't LAX.
Right.
So let's just say it was to Orange County. So I was like, my gate was to Orange County, right? And then the gate to his right was to LAX. But I called my agent. I was like, yo, my ticket says it's to Orange County. He was like, no, you got to get on that flight to LAX or you're not going to make it in time. So then I'm talking to, he was like, I don't know what you got to do, but do whatever you can to get on that flight to LAX. I was just like, yo, look, I went to the person on LAX. I was like, yo, like, can I get on the flight? They're like, nah, it's fully booked. And I was just like, all right, look, like, this is gonna sound crazy. This is gonna sound crazy, but I'm gonna be playing with the Los Angeles Clippers tonight against the Lakers. So I need to be on this flight. Like, I have to be on this flight. You're like, what? I'm like, I know it sounds crazy, but I need to be on this flight. So then I honestly don't remember what I said, but I just ended up getting on the flight. So then when I got on the plane, I was like, all right, bro, like here it is. Like we gotta go in there and do our thing, bro. So then
You go right
when
from
I
the
get
airport to the arena? Like you were right from the right to
yeah. So at this time, bro, it's like I think the game was at 7 p.m. And by this time I got on the flight, it was maybe 2, I think it was 2, and I landed in LAX around like 3:30.
Yeah.
No, yeah, around about 3:30. And then they had a driver come and pick me up, and they had D Brown. I don't even remember D Brown. He was the one that did the pump up the
Yeah.
shoes, and
Yeah.
yeah. So D Brown was he ended up being the GM for their G League team. But then so he picked me up, and when we're in the car, he's showing me plays on the MacBook. Like, okay, these are the sets they run. You got delay, pinned down on both sides. Kind of just freelance. It's not, I would say freelance, but you kind of just go off it's like a motion offense, you know.
Yeah.
And so he's showing me this, and I was like, oh yeah, like I'll pick this up. Like it's good. Like I know what to do in these certain situations. You know what I'm saying? And I knew at the end of the day, right? If I ever didn't know what to do, just go to sit in the corner, bro. Like, and just tell the guy, you go do a high ball screen. Like, I'm just sit right here. Hey, this is my first day on the job, bro. Like, like y'all got it, bro. So then he showed me that stuff, and then we get to the arena, and I'm walking in the tunnel. And Staples Center at this point, they're not crypto. So we get to Staples Center, I'm walking through the tunnel, and I see Doc Rivers, and he dapped me up. He was like, okay, you ready to play 40 minutes tonight? I was like, shit, fuck it, let's go. Like, if that's what you want, like, it's good. He was like, all right, for sure. And then I get to the locker room. They give me all this gear to wear and stuff like that. And then I had to do a physical. I had to do a physical. So then I had to do like a heart test and all this stuff. And then because they have like a little workout room for me to do the test, I walk in there, and then I see Blake Griffin. And then he was like, "Oh, what's up, bro? So you playing with us tonight?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." He's like, "All right, nice to meet you, I'm Blake." And I was like, "Bro, I know who you are, bro. Like, I'm Ike. Nice to meet you." It was cool that like they was like being cool about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I'm about to start running, and then Alex Caruso walks in, but I know Alex. Like me and him, we did like this like captain's camp like the summer before in Ohio. And we was cool ever since then. So I know Alex, he was like, Ike? I was like, AC, what's up? So like I'm telling you, yeah, bro. Like I just pulled up. He was like, bro, what? And I was like, yeah, like, hey, I'm here. Like I'm here, bro. Like, let's make it work. So then I do the test, and it was kind of draining a little bit because by this time I had already worked out twice.
Yeah.
Now this being my third workout, and my legs was pretty shot. I ain't gonna lie to you. So then I get back to the locker room, everything clears, and then they take me onto the court, right? And then I get on the court, and one thing they don't tell you, and you don't really realize, is at first is how far the NBA 3-point line is, bro. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not adjusted to that, like, oh my God. I just remember shooting, and I was like, bro, like this shit is far as fuck, bro. Like how, like, I gotta, like, and then you see Steph Curry pulling from like half court regularly. I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? So then I do my shooting stuff, and I actually played high school with Sendarius Thornwell, and he had got drafted to the Clippers, so it was cool seeing him there and stuff like that. So that was cool, and they also had Tyrone Wallace, and I knew Tyrone because we played AAU together, and eventually we ended up being roommates in the G League. But I played against him at Cal, so I knew him also, and he was signed and stuff like that. So that was cool. And then I did my warm up, and then I go back in the locker room, and there's only like 8 of us playing. So I'm observing. I'm an observant person, right? So I'm observing the scene. I'm like, bro, I'm really finna play, bro. Like, I ain't finna just sit and ride the minute. Like, Blake not playing, Pat Bev not playing, Lou Will not playing, DeAndre Jordan not playing. I was like, nah, I'm really finna get some burn out here. Like, it's about to be lit. So then, so then, uh, Doc gives a speech, and we're about to walk out of the tunnel. And then I always remember this about Lou Will because he was a real one for this. So we all like put our hands in for the as a team and stuff. He's like, yo, my man right here, he just came off straight from the plane, straight to the arena, bro. So let's make sure like we all play hard and that he do his thing. And then I was like, wow, I was fired. So then boom, get to the layup lines, do all this, that, and third. Game starts, and then I think I came in. On like 3 or 4 minutes left in the first, and then play one time on offense, play one time on defense. I was like, oh yeah, like it's good. It's just another game, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, here, let's do our thing. So then I remember I got a back tap on, I think it was Jordan Clarkson, and then got the lay. After that, I'm coming down. I had a drag with might have had a drag with my man Bryce from North Carolina.
Bryce Johnson.
Bryce Johnson, yeah, but Bryce Johnson. And rejected it. And when I rejected it, I remember I saw Julius Randle. I was like, I'm not going all the way down there. So I was like, you got it. So then I shot the floater, made it, and I was like, okay, like, here we go. I was like, okay, we got a quick foul. Like, I was like, we got a quick foul. Like, all right, cool. Like, I got a few buckets early. And then I remember the quarter ended. Shit was cool. And then second quarter started. And I remember my man Tyrone got a steal. And the thing about Tyrone, for anyone that doesn't know, is Tyrone, he's like a 6'6" PG, but he's originally left-handed, but he likes to finish with his right hand when he's at the basket, right? And I've known this for playing against him and stuff like that and playing with him. So when I see him going up in the fast break, I see him kind of like trying to get back to his right hand to the finish, but he ended up trying to do it with his left. So then I'm like trailing. I was like, yo, if I time this right, I could get a nice tip dunk, right? So when he put it up, 2 guys went for the block. They missed. He came off the rim perfectly, bro. Nice bang out, bro. It was so crazy. And then, I try to keep my cool, like nothing happened. But in my head, I was like, bro, and the thing about it, it was a TNT game. So that shit was crazy, bro. So then the crowd went crazy. And I didn't have a name on the back of my jersey, bro. Like that's how random this shit was, bro. Like my jersey was super big. Like it looked like I was playing in like 2005 with that extra large shorts on and shit, bro. Like it was so wild. And then I think I don't know if I finished with 7 or 9 or something like that, but that quarter ends, right? And I remember going when Dr. subbed me out, he was like, "Hey, like, get ready to go back in this in the second half because we're gonna need you. Get ready to play the whole second half." He told me that. And then as soon as he said that, I felt my legs start to cramp. And all right, bro, like I'm gonna try, but I'm running on fumes right now. So then I was on the bench, right? And I was sitting next to Pat Bev. And I heard some stories about Pat Bev, like getting to the league and stuff like that, and then about how when he was at with the Rockets in training camp, when Jeremy Lin was there, he like picked him like 10 times in a practice, in like one practice. So I was like, "Hey, yo, Pat, like I heard this one time you was at training camp, you and Jeremy Lin, like you picked him 10 times. Like, what's up with that? That's true story?" He was like, "Yes, true story, but it was 21." He said, he
Oh,
said, he said something, bro. It was like he said, it was like it was like a number in the low 20s. And I was just like, and then a timeout happened and he got up and walked away. And I was like, and I'm like, this dude is crazy, bro. What? So then, so that shit was cool. Second half starts. And then a few of the coaches came up to me and was like, "Hey, bro, like you hooping." Like, I was like, "Yeah, bro, like I'm here, bro. Like, of course I'm gonna do my thing." So then second half starts. Uh I played cool in like the third quarter. And I'll tell you something I never told anyone on the podcast before. What's my man's name that had the dreads? Montrez Harrell, right?
yeah, Montrezl
Yeah,
Harrell.
yeah, yeah. He a good dude. He a good dude. But this was so funny because at the time it was between him and Bryce, which who the Clippers were gonna pick, right? And in hindsight, they ended up going with Montrez, which was cool. But during the time, I think we was running delay, and I came off a handoff or something like that, and I shot it and I missed whatever. And the Montrez was like, "Hey, bro, like swing that my way, bro." He's like, "Hey, bro, he said, bro, you got to pass. You been out here shooting for real." And I'm just like, I was like, "Bro, duh." What you think? I'm gonna go out here and not get him up. Like,
What you
I
expect?
thought I respect him for saying that because like he was in a situation where like he it was him or the other guy, so he had to show what he could do. Like I was mad. I just thought that shit was hilarious, bro. So then we ended up I think we ended up losing by like it was like a close game or something like that. But all in all, but that shit was a crazy experience. And then the next morning, they signed me to the G League team because I was going to enter the G League draft anyway. But they was like, "Nah, we don't want you to enter the draft. We want you to be a part of the team." So then I was like, "Boom, cool." So then I signed with the G League team from then on, and then I started my rookie season with them, and it was cool. It was that was honestly one of my favorite years as a pro. It was my rookie year with the Clippers.
Jeez. Now,
Yeah.
after the game, did you get to like celebrate at all? Did you get to like after the game is over and you sitting in the locker room and you just like, yo, like I really just hopped off the plane and got busy in the NBA game. You know what I mean? Like, how do you even reflect upon that? That's the first part of the question. And the second part of the question, did you get to go out and celebrate? Did you hit the streets? Because I'm like, outside. Where we at? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying,
Bro,
yo.
I answered the second one first. Back then, bro, I had zero cheats. Like I was still doing my thing with like the scholarship bread, and it wasn't like an NIL deal how it is now. Like we was getting like 2,000 a month, 500 of that was going to my apartment.
Yep.
So like I was that's what I didn't go out at the game. I was like they had a hotel room for me, so I was like, all right, cool. And me and a few friends had some dinner and stuff like that, so it wasn't nothing crazy. But then so like as soon as we got into the game, into the locker room, game finished. Doc gave his speech to the team because they were starting preseason. No, not preseason. They were starting the regular season after that game. I remember Pat Beck like, "Hey y'all, like now like it's on. Like now this is where it all starts right here." Da da da. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then after, like legit, I always tell this like after the game, my phone, bro, like I couldn't use my phone. Like it was like the whole time, like for like 20, 30 minutes, my phone was buzzing nonstop, bro. Like I legit couldn't use it because so many texts was coming in. Like I had people from like we're in my third grade class I haven't talked to in years hitting my line. Like, yo, bro, I just seen you on TNT, bro. Like, yo, like you still hooping, like you out, bro. You're so good. Like, wow, you in the NBA, congrats, da da da. Like people I haven't talked to in years, bro, in years. Like, yo, like I was just like, bro, this is crazy. My juice for the next like week was so wild, bro. It was so hot. Like, my juice was crazy, bro. So crazy. And then yeah, so that was cool. And then but after I was just like, all right, like I scored in the NBA game, like shit, like let's do this, try this, let's do as many times as we can, type of thing, you know. Like it was just a crazy experience, and just me thinking about how my day started to how it ended, bro. I was like, man, this is straight from God, bro. Straight like real blessing for real, you know. But yeah, that whole day, 24 hours, craziest day of my life.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a crazy 24 hours right there, man. That's like a dream 24 hours. No cap, man.
Yeah.
No lie. So my question when I was hearing that, when you first came out of college, right? What was your decision between like, all right, I'm not gonna go overseas right away, right? Like, what made you say like, you know what, I'm gonna try to go to the G League draft and do this NBA thing? Because I feel like for a lot of guys, that's a big point of like, you know what I mean? Do I go overseas right away? I might be able to make a bunch of money. I could walk into, you know, $80,000 or $100,000 in a top first division league somewhere, you know, or I could take this shot at the league, right? What was that decision process like for you when you were kind of weighing those odds?
For me, it was like I had a pretty good pre-draft. And I had, like I said, I think 6, 7 NBA workouts. And I was like, all right, like and in these workouts, like I'm holding my own too, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing my thing. So I'm like, all right, bro, like, yeah, I belong here too. So as my agents at the time, I have a different one now, but he was like, best thing for me would go to the G League and test it out. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, like let's do it. And then after everything with the Clippers happened, like me going to Oak Hill, then going to Washington State, for me to play basketball professionally in California, I was like, man, like I ain't played in Cali since high school, bro, since I was 16, and now I'm 22, 23. Like, yeah, I'll play in Cali like it's good. So that was my thing. Like I honestly didn't know how the whole process like happened. Like really going in like between the G League, going overseas, stuff like that. Like when I was in college, I was strictly focused on college. Like that's it. And then that's something I wish I would have changed differently, is like being more focused on going pro instead of just staying in college and stuff like that. But it is what it is now. And then but yeah, I was just, my agent gave me advice to try the G League out, and I was like, all right, let's do it. Like I wasn't against it or anything like that.
Right. So then when you ended up going, because you went overseas the next year after that, right?
Yeah, I went to Germany, yeah.
Right. So what went into that choice when you were like, all right, man, like I did the G League for a year. I think you averaged like 12 your first year, had a good year, to like, all right, now I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to see what overseas is hitting for. Like what went into that decision? Because I feel like you could have easily ran it back, tried to do maybe summer league or something like that.
Yeah.
What was that process like for you?
Man, cause like you said, I had a good year with the G. Like my first year, I think I averaged like 12, 4, and 4 in like 22, 23 minutes. And we had a really good team. We were right outside of making the playoffs and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, my first intention was for me to go back, but then what's crazy about it now is the Clippers ended up drafting Jerome Robinson, which is one of my guys I know, and Shea. So then the PG spots they of course it was taken up for summer league, right? So then they didn't end up taking me for summer league, but they had my right, but the Clippers had my rights. So then I actually ended up playing summer league with the Kings that next summer, and while I'm playing, a team from Germany comes and offers me a good amount of money, and I was like, I really didn't know. My agent was like, I think I should. He told me he thinks I should take it. Da da da. So I was like, all right, like you got my best interest, like let's do it. So then signed to go to Germany, and man, my first year overseas was not it, bro. That shit was not it, bro. Not it at all. I did not have a good time.
What was it about it?
Yeah, it was just Germany was cold. You know, the team I was on, we weren't all that great. My coach, he was crazy, bro. Like he was so crazy, bro. He was known for being crazy. Like, and I was so mad. I was so mad at my agent at the time. But honestly, one of the reasons he's not my agent anymore. He had me go there, bro. And it was like, honestly, I didn't even finish out the year with them. And one of the things that was crazy with that team, was we had like 3 guys in the league that were above 35. The coach was 34, 35, and we had 3 players older than the coach.
Oh wow.
And then we had so in Germany you could have like 6 foreigners, and we had 7. And one of the foreigners, excuse me, ended up getting hurt in preseason. So for a while we ended up only having 6, and then he came back. And at this time, I'm averaging like 11 points and like 2 assists in like 13 minutes. Like I'm not even playing all that. Yeah, I'm not, bro. I'm not even playing that much. So then the coach was like, because the other foreigner came back, and mind you, I'm the youngest on the team. I'm the youngest foreigner on the team, right? And the coach was like, all right, since you're the youngest, I'm gonna sit you out because we had too many foreigners.
Right.
But I'm producing 11 and 13, 14 minutes, whatever it was. And I was just like what? That doesn't make sense. And everyone, like my agent was like, this doesn't make sense. And my German agent was saying the same thing. And it was just a weird dynamic because the GM really liked me. And the fans, they liked me a lot too. So it just came to a point where actually like we only won like 1 game that season, and it was just tough, bro. Well, 1 game since while I was there, we only won 1 game. So then January came around, I'm still not playing. This happened going on for like a month and a half, and then the coach he's just always yelling during practice, 2-a-days, and it was just a tough situation, bro. And I'm just thinking to myself, bro, this is how overseas is like, bro. Like, how do guys just do this, bro? Like, cause my teammate, Derek Allen, he actually ended up coaching the G League for a little bit. Like, he was like one of the like the goats of the league. Like, he had been playing the league for so long and like have really high status. I was like, bro, how long has he been here for like 10 plus years, bro? If it's like this, like it just doesn't make sense. Like he met his wife overseas. He had 2 kids at the time. So he basically like lived overseas. Like, and I'm just like what? Like, like, bro, this is not for me, bro. This is not for me, dog. Not at all. So then I ended up going to Lithuania in early February, late January. And basketball wise, I was a way better situation. Like the coach was from Serbia, and he was a good coach. Most Serbian coaches like are known for like yelling and stuff like that, but he didn't yell at all. Like, well, he yelled when he had to and stuff, but it wasn't unnecessary, you know.
Right.
So then the team was cool. They were a Champions League team, but I got there right when they stopped playing Champions League, so it was just Lithuanian games and stuff like that. But we ended up doing really well. Lost to Zalgiris in the playoffs. I ended up playing well. I think I ended up averaging like I think it was like 14 14-3 or 14-4 or something like that. Smooth percentages, a lot better than Germany, and finished off the year. And I just remember, bro, like after that year, I was like, bro, I gotta get back to the States. Like, I'm good. I'm good off overseas, bro. I gotta get back to the States. It was too much, bro. It was too much.
And then is that when you came back and played for the Go-Go in the G League?
Yeah, that's when I was in DC with Gogo. So then they ended up having my getting my rights from the Clippers, and the coach was like, "Yeah, I really love the way you play. Like, I coached against you when you were with the Clippers, and I just really love your game. You really get to the basket, and you're an improved shooter." Da da da. So I was like, "All right, cool." And the thing is that like because I was thinking, with me being from Sacramento, I was thinking about going with the Stockton.
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking about going with Stockton, right? But then Stockton had Tyler Eulis. My boy Gabe Vincent was going there. Kyle Guy was there. So I'm like, nah, like I'm kind of cool. I don't want to like with all these guards, I don't know if it's gonna be smart for me to go there, you know what I'm saying? So then DC wanted me, and the way I'm looking at it is, okay, John Wall's out for the year. He just had an Achilles injury. He's not gonna play, for sure not gonna play. They had Isaiah Thomas there, and I know like he was kind of injury prone. We don't know how his situation was, but I was like, all right, like there's a possibility like I do what I know I'm gonna do and capable of doing, like I get a call up, right? For sure. So then I get there, and off the bat, bro, like I start killing in training camp. Like I was doing my thing. And they're like, yeah, we really love the way you're playing. Just give this after the first 2 to 3 games, we're really gonna give you a shot to really just do your thing. Because they had signed Chris Chioza, who's in Baskonia now. He has signed a two-way, and Justin Robinson was an assignment. It didn't make sense to me though, because they're like the same height and like both PGs. So I was like, all right, whatever. Right. But anyways, I was like, man, just give me a shot. I really don't care what it is. Just as long as I had the opportunity, that's all I can ask for, right? So then after our third game, they ended up signing what's my man's name? His brother went to Syracuse. He plays for Portland now. Jerian
Grant.
Yeah, the older brother, right?
Yeah, older brother is Jerian, and I went to Notre Dame.
Yeah, Jerian. So they ended up signing Jerian Grant. Yeah, they ended up signing Jerian. And the thing about that was so crazy to me is, bro, like Jerian was just playing with Orlando the year before.
Yeah.
In the playoffs when they beat Toronto in the first, I think it was the first game.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I was like, bro, you just signed an NBA. Like this guy was not, and this guy, like, it's not like he played for like the Suns or anything like that were bad back then, you know? Like they were in the playoffs. Like he got minutes too. Right. So I'm just like, bro, what? Like, how does this even happen, bro? So then I didn't play, bro. I was on the bench for like a good part, like I would say 3/4 of that season, bro. Right. So then months go by and I'm still really not playing like that. And it happened at the end of January. Chris ended up going to end up signing with Brooklyn. And something happened where I was the backup PG. But the thing is, before that is I had not signed, I had to ask for a trade, right? My agent was like, yeah, the Texas Legends want you. Indiana's G League team wants you. But because I played in overseas the year before, they wanted to see me play.
Right.
But as soon as I requested a trade, the Go-Go, they weren't going to play me. They just put me at the end of the bench, bro. End of the bench, bro. It's like, it got to a point where I was just like, I was like telling jokes all the time. And like, because during the season, like I'd be, especially during games, I'd be like in a certain mode, you know, like it's like I'm straight to business, really, really. But like, I wasn't acting normal, bro. Like, I was like telling jokes a lot and stuff like that. Just kind of just keeping people's spirits high, stuff like that. Because I was the only one. Like, there's like 2 other guys that were on the bench with me and stuff. So we would just like laugh about shit. And then it didn't come until the end of January when I started hooping, because they had to play me, because like I was a backup PG, so they had to play me, bro. And I remember this. I remember this shit so vividly, bro. One day, like we all come into practice and we thinking it's gonna be just a normal practice. We get up some shots and then we go home, nothing crazy. And then they come into the locker room. They're like, "Yo, we're having a scrimmage. John Wall's playing." And we're like, all right. So like there was a few times we played with John, and I really liked those times because I was like, because we just got to play basketball. It wasn't like, I don't know, it just wasn't like a regular practice. We really just got to go out there and hoop, because honestly, it was just for John to just rehab, right? And I don't think I played the game before. So coming to this, I was like, finally get to fucking hoop. I'm about to talk so much shit and go fucking crazy, bro. So then they had some refs, from some old refs, like one of the OG refs from the NBA come and ref our practice and shit. Like he could barely move up and down the court, but we just needed a ref, right? Yeah. So I remember I had came off like a pick and roll shot of midi. I got fouled. They didn't call it. I'm like, hey man, call the fucking foul, man. And I'm not even a guy that be turning up like that. But I was so fed up with the whole situation. I was like, yo, call the fucking foul. And then the coach I said, yo, Ike, like, relax. He's like, I was like, nah, fuck that shit. And like, it's no more time to relax, bro. I was so tight. I was on timing, bro. So then I started cooking. I ended up hitting like, I think like it was like 7 or 8 threes. And then me and John was going back and forth. And I hit one on him. He came down, did something and stuff like that. And that shit was cool. But then I just remember thinking like, finally, bro, like, because I had gone such a long time without hooping. It was like the confidence really wasn't like that, you know what I'm saying? So then hooping against him, even though he was still coming back from an Achilles injury, I was still like, bro, I know for a fact, like I was one of the best players on the court that day, so I know I'm not tripping, like I'm nice like that. Yeah. So that was cool. And then after that, bro, I started hooping. Like, there was a stat my agent showed me at the end of the season, like, when I played, I think it was 8 games, I played more than 20 minutes. We were 6-2, and I was averaging like 18, 5-5, something like that. It was like 18, 5-5 or 25-5. Like I was doing my thing with solid percentages all around and stuff like that. And then the season ended up getting cut short because of COVID. So it was just like, as soon as I started hooping too, so I was like, man, like, look, out of my control, bro. So then COVID happened. And then yeah, so that was my last time in the G League.
Yeah. So given your experience that you've had, like with the Clippers, with the Go-Go, going through the politics, assignment guys coming down, Exhibit 10 guys on the roster, the two-way guys, right? For the people who may be listening to this podcast right now and they're like, damn, like, I want to go to the G League. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand, like, if you're not a two-way player or an Exhibit 10 guy, it doesn't really make sense for you to do the G League, because all those you're automatically behind those NBA assignment guys, or might be somebody who having an injury, or the two-way, whatever the case may be, right? What advice would you give to somebody who may be hearing this and like, damn, like I want to go to the G League, I want to play in the G League, and thinking that, because what people don't understand too, man, at that point, it's not even about your game, right? Like at the end of the day, it's politics that go into it. It's your agent. Yeah. It's a whole bunch of shit that goes on that has nothing to do with how good you are at basketball. So, yeah, given your experience, man, how do you reflect on that? What advice would you give somebody who's kind of weighing those options between the NBA and the G League? I mean, excuse me.
Obviously, yeah, I would say, man, if you want to do the G, that's totally fine. If you want to go overseas, that's totally fine. Just know what comes with each situation. Like the G League, there's gonna be things that are out of your control with the politics, with the assignments, with the two ways. And it's like, and sometimes, bro, you could be on a roll hooping. Like you could be doing your thing. Like it wouldn't make sense for you not to play. Like it wouldn't make sense for you not to play, but some guy's not getting minutes for the NBA team. Let's set him down. He might be the same position as you. All right, like you're not finna play. And when those assignments and two-way guys are getting minutes or in the game, bro, they're playing like the whole game, bro. Like they're not going to be down there not to produce. Even if they don't even do that at the NBA in the NBA, like their team wants them to come down and run all pick and rolls. They want them, if you're a big man, they want if he's a big man and he sets screens for guys in the NBA, they're gonna run post-up plays for him in the G League, bro. Like that, and that might not even be his game, bro. Like, but that's how things go. You know what I'm saying? That's how things go. And then you go overseas. If you go overseas, usually you're not gonna be straight to EuroLeague, you know what I'm saying? And Europe makes you earn everything. Legit, you have to earn everything, bro. And the rules are different. Whatever country you're in, it's gonna be outside your comfort zone. And you really gotta work your way up. Like, it's just you gotta just know what comes with everything, bro. But yeah, the G League, the politics and stuff like that, and then come overseas, you got the culture, the coaching is different. There's just a lot of things that come with each situation. But as long as you know what you're getting yourself into, I think that'll give you a better sense on what to do and what decision to make.
Yeah. So I mean, you like you mentioned, man, you had to kind of get it out the mud coming from the G League and not playing and going through Germany and having a situation go south, having to leave. But you look at where you're at now, man. Like you've played first division in Italy. You're playing now in the ACB, which is arguably the best domestic league in the world, right? Like, how were you able to continue to fight through that adversity early on to make it to where you're at now? Like, when do you feel like, was there a turning point in your career where you felt like, all right, things are finally on the up and up? You know what I mean? And when was that? And I guess looking at where you are now, man, what do you think was the key to you being able to navigate that, going through that overseas journey to make your way up to where you're now, one of the best leagues in the entire world?
Man. Man, it's been tough, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, especially after that game against USA, like I thought like something was gonna pop off for me. Like and things did like I went to Israel, and Israel was great, but like I'm just thinking like, all right, I was gonna get a notice like on a bigger scale just because of that game, which didn't happen. But it's been tough, bro. Like when I got cut from Nigeria going into the Olympics, that was the first time I had the thought of just like stop playing basketball because like I was so sick. I was so sick of politics getting in the way, bro. I was like, bro, like I'm doing my part, bro. Like I'm working out all the time in the summer. Like when it's time for me to hoop, I got hoop. Like what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what it is. Like I treat people the right way, this, that, and the third. Like I didn't know. So then and honestly that's where I started my brand, Just Keep Going. And then whenever I kind of get in these moments where it gets really rough, I kind of just think to myself like just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. And then I went to Israel, and Israel was tough. That's where I met Zay and my boy Bryce and Siobhan and my boy Stove and DJ Kennedy, and we really had a great group of guys. And we ended up going into that year, they thought our team was going to be last in the league, and we ended up finishing top 5. So that year was big. I ended up doing my thing there, got All-Star Game MVP, was doing well. And then I'm like, okay, like things gonna happen for me in the league or Euro League. Something's gonna happen. Things didn't happen that way. So then team in Italy comes Treviso, and Treviso's a really respected club. And I ended up averaging like 16 over there. And for those that don't know, like if you average like 10 points overseas, that's like a lot. That's like a lot. And so in Italy, I think at the time is considered the third best league in the world, or it was back then. I don't know what it is this year, but it was when I was there last year. So for me to average 16 was like pretty big. And then come this year to Girona, so actually after Treviso, I was like, all right, like something has to happen now. Like I got average 16 in one of the best leagues in the world outside of the NBA. Like, all right, and then the thing that I was thinking like Euroleague, NBA then, and I'm like, nah. So then I come to Girona and Marc Gasol is the president of the team, and he asked me, he hit me up on his own. I was like, "Yo, Ike, I want you to come to Girona and play for the organization." And I guess Marc Gasol, bro. So I was like, "Nah, this is fire." So I was like, "All right, like." I was like, all right, like it's cool. He's like, if you ever need anything, let me know. Mark's real hands-on. Like he comes to our practice all the time. Me and him talk. I ask him a lot of questions about basketball and like how to prepare for certain situations, stuff like that, which is really dope because I never really had that. And with a player like Marc Gasol at that level, being like right, like being just one call away, or even just at practice, like you know what I'm saying, like so that was really cool. And then with Spain being Spain, bro, it's like man, there's some really good teams out here, bro. Like, and the country in itself off the court reminds me of like California with how laid back everyone is, and the food here is good, and Spanish is like it's a nice language, of course, and it's like nice to hear. Some I'm not gonna say which languages, but some other languages aren't that pleasing to the ear, as much as Spanish is, you know what I'm saying? So so to be in a country like Spain is dope, bro. So then and then Barcelona is only an hour away. And so that's pretty cool to go up there and stuff like that, just to get out of the city sometimes. But yeah, for me to come to Girona, and then you play teams like Barcelona, you play teams like Madrid, you play teams like Malaga, who's second in the league right now, who just won Champions League. Um, you play teams like Valencia, um, Basconia. Man, there's just so many teams that are like Champions League and respected, and there's a reason it's considered the best league, the best domestic league, out in the world outside of the NBA and stuff like that. So to play all these teams and to be doing well is like, all right, like it's like here, like now I don't like now I'm come to the point where I just like kind of let things be where they may. I don't really like force any issues, and I don't really talk about like what I'm gonna do next year, because a lot of people ask me all the time like, yo, what are your thoughts for next year? Like especially with this year coming to a close, we only have 3 games left. Like it's like Ike, like what are you doing next year? What are you doing next year? I was like, bro, look, for my peace of mind, I have to stay right here, and I don't even try to go into next year until it's time for me to do that. So let me just finish this year and then do my thing. But yeah, man, it's just like through all these trying times, I just tell myself, just keep going, because every season, bro, every season there's ups and there's downs. Even this season, there's February to March was a tough time for me, bro. Like I wasn't hooping. It was a little cold out here. Like it was tough, but I just told myself just keep going. And then I think for the past 2 months, I think I'm averaging somewhere around like 20 points and like maybe like 4 or 5 assists or something like that out here. So with really good percentages all around. So yeah, it's like that's been the thing that's like has gotten me through everything, bro. It's just those 3 words, just keep going in. And yeah, so that's pretty much.
So I feel like one thing that just from listening to your story, man, and things that you're talking, like you say that you had a little slump between February and March, and the weather gets cold, and you talk about in Germany, man, the coach is crazy, and all the stuff is going on. A lot of people don't understand like the things that go on overseas, man, like the mental battles that take place, because you got a coach that might not mess with you. You got the language barrier, right? You're missing so much that's going on at home, whether it's birthdays, weddings, death to families, funerals, babies being born, vacations, like all type of things that are going on that you're playing through your mind, right? Like, talk about just the mental aspect of the grind of being overseas, man, and what it takes. Because I feel like I was one of those guys when I was in high school, when I was in college, I would see dudes like retire from basketball early. And I'd be like, dang, bro, why he retired? Like, he was nice, like, you know what I mean? And he could just go overseas. And it's like, bro.
Just go overseas,
Bro,
bro. That
until you get
statement, bro, that
overseas,
statement right there is
man,
just like people don't understand what that really means. Yeah, bro, just go overseas, go to another country that don't speak any English, and the food is totally different. And where it's just bro, just go overseas is crazy, bro. But nah, every day is something, bro. It's like you have to really like mentally prepare yourself every day for what you're getting yourself into, bro. Luckily, like Spain, I really like Spain, bro. But but even though it's like Spain's one like a great country, it's still hard, bro. Like I'm out of my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to mentally prepare myself to go to practice, and I be in the locker room sometimes. My teammates are talking to each other, telling jokes. Like, yeah, like I like to tell jokes too. You know what I'm saying? But they're speaking in Spanish, so I'm just over here, just on my phone. Just minding my own business, and then they start speaking English. Then I could get into the conversation and stuff like that. Those are things that come with it, And then and just the culture being different, and just being away from my family, bro. Like that shit is hard, bro.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these guys out here, like they have like their wives or their girlfriends with them and stuff like that, and me, like I'm dolo, so I come back to my apartment, I'm chilling by myself. Luckily, some of the homies, I'll get on Call of Duty with them after practice and honestly, it's not even about Call of Duty for real. It's just to talk with the homies and like that are on in the same time zone as me and stuff like that. Because my younger brother actually was hooping in Qatar, and I think Qatar is like 2 hours, 2 hour time difference, which is close enough. So me and him, we would hop on Call of Duty a lot, and that was great for me because it was like he talk about his day, I talk about my day. We talk about, man, yeah, like this is going on. These dudes are tripping, and for him, this is tripping. Like it's just like he can relate, you know what I'm saying? But there's so much that people don't understand. Like you said, you missing a lot of stuff at home. My parents, all my friends, my older brother and stuff like that. They're telling me all maybe the fun they had out with each other and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking to myself like, oh my gosh, bro, like I can't wait to get back. I leave here on the 14th. So I'm just like, man, when I get back home, I can't wait to see everybody, bro. Cause it's like I ain't been home since August 12th, I think.
Yeah.
It's right now, it's May 2nd.
Yeah.
Like, bro, it's a long time, bro. A lot happens in 10 months, bro. So yeah, it's just like mentally every day you just gotta prepare yourself to just have a nice day, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like just and being outside your comfort zone.
Yeah. So I think another element of this too is like you talked about Josh earlier, right? He's like, man, I'm about to spend my whole year in Japan, my whole career in Japan. So you can kind of get comfortable with like where you're going every year. It might be a new team, but like I'm going to Japan. I might sign a 2-3 year deal with the team and got my passport. You have stability, you know what I mean? But
Sure.
for most people, like you signing a 1 year deal. Like, you might be in Israel this year, Spain this year, Italy this year, Germany this year, France this year. It's like you don't really know where your life. You can't plan anything. You don't know. It's like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing next month, let alone next year. Or you know what I mean? You're constantly moving your crib. Like, just talk about for you what that has been like. You can't lay down any roots or foundation. If you got a little shorty, you might be dating a little
Yeah,
shorty, catch a
exactly.
little
Yeah,
vibe. You're
yeah.
like,
That's
damn.
fact. That's fact. That's
I'm,
facts. That's facts.
baby girl, I don't know if we'll be back next year. I want to mess with you, but I might be across the world next year. I might be, you know what I mean? I might be in Turkey. You feel me? Like,
No,
you
facts,
never know.
facts,
Like,
bro.
it's tough. I be over here. I'm like, dang, bro. There's no point in me even dating, bro. Cause I'm like, man, I'm gonna be here for a few months and then I'm gone. So what are we even doing?
No,
What are we doing?
exactly, bro. No, bro, that's real because yeah, it's just really tough, especially like going country to country to country, because it's like you might get used to it, but then as soon as you get used to it, you gotta go, And honestly, for me, man, I kind of be open to all situations, but yeah, it's hard, bro, when you gotta switch cribs. So my first year overseas, and the thing I learned about Germany is bro, like you can't shop too much, right? Because you get like two suitcases, right?
Mm.
And when you come over here, I'm sure you're gonna bring all your stuff. Your suitcase is gonna be almost maxed out, right? So then my first year, man, I was buying so many clothes, bro. Like I could walk to H&M. And this when H&M was popping too, you know what I'm saying? Like now it's about like Zara and stuff like that. But back when H&M was popping, like you go to H&M, get all this stuff, bring it back to the crib, and then it was time for me to leave. My 2 suitcases turned to like 3, and then 3 turned to 4. So then you get to the airport, yeah, all right, the team only covers like maybe 2, and then 4 bags could cost anywhere between like 600,
Yep.
700, depending if they're overweight, which I'm probably banking on them being overweight. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it's like, so then that's difficult because so then that means wherever you go home, you have to have like you have to have a spot to like put all your stuff at,
Yeah, like a
right?
storage unit or something.
Yeah, a storage unit or something. So then, all right, so then you go, let's just say you go out of college, right? Straight overseas. You go out of college straight overseas. And now when you're in the summer, you're living with your parents for the first 2 to 3 years. And then after that, you're like, all right, like now let me have my own spot in the summer. So then you get your own spot in the summer, but then it's like you're not gonna be there you're only gonna be there 2 months out the year, 2 or 3 months out the year, if you're lucky. So then it's like, all right, how do I navigate that? You know what I'm saying? Do I want to buy? You start growing up, you start looking in real estate, buying a crib, buying an apartment, doing something. But it's like you don't want to have an apartment that you're only gonna be there for 2 or 3 months. But it's hard to get a spot, and at least for only a short amount of time like that, you know? So it's like all this stuff that comes that you have to think about. Luckily for me, me and 2 of my brothers, we all live together. So it's like I have like a home base in Sacramento, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, they don't have that, you know? They might have to pay for a place that they're not at for most of the year, which is tough. So those are things to think about. And it's just yeah, bro, it's just difficult. And then like I said, bro, being away from your family, like you never want to be like God forbid something happens to someone you know, someone close to you, then you gotta go home and deal with whatever situation that is, and then come back. Like I've had a few teammates over the years, their wife is pregnant back at home, so they have to fly home, be with them, and then sign a birth certificate, be there for maybe if they're lucky, like for maybe a week, maybe, and then come back here and just act like, all right, now it's time for you to get buckets and kind of hoop, like like your life hasn't changed drastically in the last week.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, bro, crazy dynamic. But I mean, it is like we chose to do it, so we just do it to the best of our ability, really.
Yep. I think that's a perfect segue into your brand. Just keep going. And I want to give you an opportunity to talk about that because number one, I think what it stands for is super prevalent. Whether you're an overseas hooper or whether you're a regular pedestrian that got a job, I think it applies in a bunch of different areas of life. You know what I mean? And y'all got clothes, you got merch, but you also got a bunch of different inspirational quotes and just mantras that you can live by when it comes to the brand. So I want to give you an opportunity to talk about just what that brand means to you, and how you've been able to just build that as an overseas athlete.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, bro. Like when I made Just Keep Going, I made it at a time where I was literally telling myself, like, like I said, I was thinking about being done with basketball, and I was like, nah, like just keep going, just keep going. And then the main reason for me making JKG was to shout out all the homies that I felt like weren't getting the recognition they deserve, like, cause yeah, it's easy to shout out someone when like they're mainstream and popular and a lot of people know them and stuff like that. But especially when you're a guy that plays overseas and stuff like that, you're like people at home don't know anything about like ACB. Like I could come out of here being like the leading scorer in the league, and no one, as soon as I get to on that plane, no one's gonna know. Like, but if I average 15 points in the NBA, everyone around me is gonna know. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone, but no one knows that. So I made it to shout out like the people that I feel like should get the recognition that they deserve and aren't getting that. And then but before I even made like the chains here, or even the hat right here, like before I even made any of this stuff, um I just made it as a page as an Instagram page to shout out to all my homies I felt like need the recognition. And then people started saying JKG, and it really started growing a lot and creating a community. And then before I knew it, people were like, yo, like we want merch, bro. Like I'm trying to buy a shirt. And at this time I knew nothing about shirts, bro. I knew nothing about merch. I was like, bro, I'm just trying to shout y'all out and get y'all like a poster here and there. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
I'm just trying to give y'all some love, bro. Like I'm not really trying to make merch and stuff like that. So then I have a cousin, my cousin Chindam. He came to me and was like you hoop overseas, you're nice, you got a brand now, make some merch. And I was just like, all right, like let's do it. So then he like kind of showed me the ropes. I was like, nah, you got to get some blanks and do this. So and I had went to elementary school with a guy who had like who had a factory in Sac with a printing factory. So then I made like my first set of shirts, and it was like I made 30 shirts and I sold 30 shirts in like 2 days. Like
Yeah.
it was like out of the trunk of my car type shit. Like it was just like I showed people I had it. Everyone hit me like, y'all want. So then boom, 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 I'm just handing them out. People pay me for them. It was like, then I was like, okay, like this is cool. Like and then every now and again, it's been 2 years since I did that. People are still wearing the shirts. Isaiah, he just posted a picture with the shirt on. You know, I'm just like, bro, like this is crazy. So then I'm just like, I'm like, all right, like I like this. Let's keep doing it. So then I have my friend Maurice Jordan, my guy Mo. I bring him on to JKG, and he's a co-owner of the brand as well. And now we talk all the time on what it is for JKG, what's the next move and stuff like that. And then my older brother, he handles the website and the logistics, and I have like a few photographers that kind of help run the Instagram page and stuff like that. But I honestly couldn't be able to do it without those guys because like I said, bro, I'm overseas, bro. Like I don't know, like I can only see what's going on like on Instagram and IG. You know, I don't really know what's going. I don't have firsthand experience on what the culture is like when back in the States and stuff like that. So like they'll tell me this is hot, this was not, this is going on, da da da. And so without them, I couldn't be able to do what I do, honestly, because it's so tough being overseas and trying to run a brand. But then when I have people that are home based, and especially dealing with product and merch, where we have the chains, we have the hats that people want. My brother, he's the one that goes to the post office, mails all those out, gets the print on everyone's address, puts it on the boxes. You know what I'm saying? And Mo, he's extremely creative. He's a videographer, and not just in videography, but in like creating items and like what we think will sell and all this, that, and the third. So having like a team is the reason why like JKG is successful. But at the end of the day, bro, like I never made JKG for money, which I think is like a great thing for me, because some people, they make brands and like they're like dependent on that for a source of income, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm glad that's not my situation. Really thankful for that, because of course, like you want to make a profit when you come out with stuff. That's always the idea and a plus for sure. But like I'm never pressed about like, nah, like we need to sell 300 shirts by this time so we can make this amount of money. Like that's never been me for real. I think just keep going is something, like you said, a hooper overseas or the mailman can relate to, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, for anyone that has a goal in mind, JKG is for you, you know. No matter if it doesn't even have to be like sport related or work related. It could be like a relationship you're trying to mend with someone you love or something like that. Like just keep going. Like over time, it's gonna be all right. It might not be good today or good tomorrow, but if you keep trying to put the right effort forward, you know, you're gonna get to the goal that you've always wanted to get to.
Yeah. Now, I think one thing that I love, man, is like seeing hoopers, whether you're overseas hooper or NBA hooper, man, that have crafted brands that had nothing to do with basketball. Like, you know what I mean? Whether it's a
Yeah.
clothing brand, people getting the podcast thing, like fashion, you know what I mean? Like, I love seeing hoopers that have been able to step into this lane, this creative lane. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that we love about this whole What's in Your Bag podcast, man. The whole thing behind What's
Yeah.
in Your Bag was like, what's in your bag outside of basketball? You know what I mean? And what do you, I think for me, it gives me a lot of inspiration just seeing hoopers tap into that creative side of things, man, and making art and things like that. How do you feel about just this new era that we're entering into, where athletes, where it's a positive, man, to be able to tap into things outside of the game and be creative and to explore other habits? You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean to you, and what are you looking forward to about this next, era that we're getting ready to walk into? I feel like as athletes, but also as creators.
Oh man, it's really dope to see, man, because like we live a life that 99% of people don't live, but everyone wants to like have like everyone has their eye on, I feel like, so I feel like with everyone being a creative, it gives people like an inside view of like what we go through on a day-to-day basis or from time to time and stuff like that. And it's just dope to see because I just remember when I was in college, bro, like my whole thing was just strictly basketball, bro. Like
Yeah.
focus on basketball and school, of course, but strictly hoops, bro. Like, and it got to a point where it was just like it was overwhelming, bro. Like I just felt like I was in a box a lot and I couldn't really express myself the way I want to express myself. And then like when you're in that box for so long, you like it's just mentally it's just not healthy, you know what I'm saying? So for me, even when it comes to basketball, like I love basketball, but when I step away from basketball and then step back into it, that's when I'm like at my best. Cause I feel like I'm able to breathe a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm able to just play better and play more and play a lot freer just because I gave basketball just a time, just stepped away from the game just a little bit, you know? And that's what JKG does for me is allows me to put my mind to work in a different area other than just basketball, you know. So it's dope to see, especially people that are into fashion, hoopers or athletes in general that are into fashion, or maybe they're into like making vlogs or TikToks about the things they like doing or basketball itself and just finding ways to express themselves other than just on the court, on the field, or in their set competition, whatever it is. So it's dope to see, and it's only going to grow from here on out.
That's dope, man. So what are you most excited about the next chapter of JKG? Like, what can people expect to see from you guys in the future? Do you have ideas like, damn, man, I want JKG to look like this, or these are some things that I would like to see it, go to, 5 to 10 years down the line?
Yeah. The as far as the future for JKG, man, I just um for us as a brand, I really just want us to be consistent with with our growth, and then two with continue to build a community, and then three just having our like basic items always available to people, you know, because that's what we kind of struggle with this year was just always having items available, and just but I think moving forward uh we kind of figured out what works, what doesn't work, the timing of when we got to put our orders in and when to do certain things. Because when you don't want to put an order in when you're out of stock. You want to do it like a little bit right before and just time it up and stuff like that. And we want to continue to build our community. I think that's the biggest thing for us right now. It's just finding ways to just build a community, whether that's I think that's being a lot more consistent on social media and all that stuff. But yeah, I think those are the biggest things for us. I'm not looking like I want to be in like 10 years. I want JKG to be covered in Forbes and stuff like that. That's really, like I said, it's really not the goal. As long as we continue to give people inspiration for JKG on a consistent basis, But honestly, I'll say this: the goal for JKG, honestly, when people hear "just keep going" or "keep going" or see JKG randomly anywhere around the world, I want them to think of the brand.
Mm.
That's one thing. That's one thing I do see. And then people will like I remember there was this Kelsey Plum interview. I think after she won the title with the Aces this last year,
Yep.
she was like, "Yeah," and I just, I just kept going. Like, I mean, you have to just keep going. And she said something along those lines. She said JKG for real, and it was like, and the people were sending me that, or you got all these Kobe interviews. And I remember the one where he's in like a gray hoodie, and he got the low cut, and he's like, uh just keep going day by day, step by step. You just keep going and stuff like that, So people send me those all the time, and that lets me know, okay, what we're doing is having an impact on people in a positive way, you know what I'm saying? And so that's really something like I strive for, is to continue to build a community and for JKG to really be known on a global scale.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So, I feel like the last question I'll ask you, man, with the JKG stuff before we have some quick hitters and get you out the door, man, is for you, right? Like, I think as a hooper, right, and you saying how people are sending you all these things and like about JKG and like, man, like having this brand recognition and looking at your journey that you've went on from Oak Hill, Washington State, right, going through the G League and the time you spent in the Clippers and getting that call up and everything you've been through up to this point, right?
Mm.
What do you want people to think of when they think of you and they think of just keep going? I feel like it's something to be said, man, when you have athletes who have created a brand and it's turned into something that's bigger than themselves, man. Like people are noticing you and your name and they're associating with like just keep going, you know what I mean? And your story, right? When you
Yeah.
reflect upon that, man, like what does that mean to you? Just given your journey, given what you've been through, and the message that now you're kind of tying all these things in together to create one story.
I think when people think about me, I just want to think about like perseverance really. And I'm just a person that I just didn't quit, bro. Like it would have made sense for me along this road a few times to just be like, all right, I'm good. Like and just do something else, but I'm just a guy like I just didn't quit. A lot of people will ask me like, bro, like how'd you do this? How'd you do that? Like how you playing? Like you said, like how you playing where you're playing. I'm just like, bro, like I know it's tough for everybody, bro. Like it's not just I'm not the only one going through something like, but if you're trying to get to where I'm at, bro, just don't quit, bro. Like and it's easy to say that, but when you're going through those tough times, when for basketball players, when you're not hitting shots, like I feel like the world is about to end.
X.
like, bro, like I legit, I just didn't quit, bro. Like that's it. Just strictly perseverance and just trying to make a great situation out of everything. I think it's really where is what I want people to think of when they think of me for sure.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So we're gonna wrap it up with a few quick hitters. So you're gonna see the first thing that comes to your mind when I ask you these questions, man. So first question is, what's been the favorite country that you've played in thus far?
Oh, Spain,
Oh,
easily.
okay. Favorite city in the world that you visited?
Favorite city where I visited Barcelona,
Mm.
right down the street. Yeah, I've had a good time in Barcelona. I've had a
Good
good, I've
time.
had a good, had a good time in Barcelona. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, who is, if you could look to, an athlete, whether it's for inspiration or who's kind of one of, I guess, your favorite athlete right now, that you think is, I guess, setting the tone, whether it's creativity, inspiration, or whatever that may be.
Hmm. Setting the tone for inspiration. Oh man, saying a quick hitter, so I gotta really think. I would say off the bat, I would say Damian Lillard, because as soon as he got into the league, he was showing people like like, yeah, I'm nice at hoop, and I'm like, I'll cook you on the court, but I'm also like a rapper, and I'm also I'm like I'm good at like being artistic, and of course making shoes. Like he's like all his shoes have been pretty smooth. And just showing you that he's more than a basketball player. He's also like I feel like he's really intelligent as well. So I feel like Damian Lillard for sure just showing you like you can kill on the court and also just be like have other things to do off it as well.
What's the most underrated part of playing overseas?
Most underrated part. Most underrated part of playing overseas. Like underrated in that would mean
Like in a good way. Something that people
yeah.
don't.
Okay, I would say the most underrated part is being a foreigner. People like think you're interesting off the bat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it gives you like a little juice, like, and especially for Spain, me being from me honestly, for Europe in general, me being from California is just like an extra boost, you know, like yeah, like nah, I don't speak the language, but I'm from California. It's like, oh, you from California? Like, I'm just, yeah, and then it's like a conversation starter, you know what I'm saying? So it's like being from the States, it's like you're it's kind of special since you're a foreigner and stuff like that.
Yep. So, we're going to talk just about your overseas career. Give me your favorite matchup, like a guy you matched up with for a game, or you're like, damn, like me and this dude, when I see him, we always go at it. Oh, this dude is tough. Like, what favorite matchup I guess comes to mind?
Favorite matchup.
Or most
Um,
memorable, maybe a game where like you went crazy against somebody and they went crazy and you're like, damn, I look at that game was wild. Like, what would you say is your favorite game that you've matched up with? I guess.
um, honestly, this is gonna sound funny, but when I was my second stint in Germany after COVID, I played in Vechta. I was only there for a month, but I played my boy TJ Shorts.
He
And
going
but the
crazy
thing
right
is,
now.
yeah, TJ going crazy. And me and T before this, we know each other because he went to UC Davis,
Yep.
which is right literally outside of Sacramento. You can say it's in Sacramento, but legit right there. And we knew each other because we did like an open run a few times and stuff like that. But when we played each other, it's like we both played so bad that game, bro. Like, after the like he played bad, I played bad. His team ended up winning. And then after the game, we dapped up, and it was just like, bro, we both were trash today. It was it was now looking back at it, it's so funny, bro. It was legit so funny, bro. But then and it's just seeing how well he's doing now, like
Yeah.
uh winning Champions League last year, MVP last year to now Euro Cup champions, MVP with that, and then Paris win the French Cup. And I think they're probably gearing up for the playoffs around this time. I'm
Yeah.
sure he's probably going to be up for MVP or something like that again too. So seeing how successful he's been since that, and even I think he got German MVP last year too or something like that too. So he's been going crazy, and now I'm doing well in Girona. So it's so funny just looking back at that matchup because I was like, all right, like playing my boy TJ, and then whenever you play someone you know, like you always whenever you just want to do well, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that we both played bad is hilarious. It's hilarious. So and I remember that. I remember that matchup for sure.
Man, that's gonna be crazy if so. I remember they didn't announce that they're going to EuroLeague yet because usually if you win Euro Cup, you go right to EuroLeague. So
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. But last year, Gran Canaria won EuroLeague. But one of my teammates was telling me is with them. I don't know if you know where Gran Canaria is, but it's kind of like on the close to the coast of Africa, North Africa.
oh wow.
So like, yeah, so like they because they were EuroLeague back in the day, and I guess the team almost went bankrupt with like the flights and like trying to do stuff. Because when you play in Gran Canaria, there'll be times when you're on the road for like 10 days.
Jeez.
Because they're you're playing in Europe competition and then you're playing in Spain, but it's like a 3 hour flight just to get from Barcelona to Gran Canaria is a 3 hour flight.
Jeez.
So there'll be times where they're just in Spain And all right, they got a Euro Cup game. So instead of going back to Grand Canyon, they go to somewhere else. And yeah, they'll be on the road for a long, long time. It's a beautiful place though to live and of course to play, but you'll just be on the road for a long time. And then but they didn't go EuroLeague this last year because I guess because of that reason. They didn't want that to happen again. But now with Paris, I'm sure they'll have I'm sure they'll go EuroLeague because it's like it's a popular city, of course, one of the biggest cities, most popular cities in the world. They got the Olympics there this summer. So yeah, I'm sure they'll go EuroLeague. But that's gonna be a good hub for people to go to want to play, you know. You in Paris, you're in the mix, you know, so that's gonna be dope for the city, for the country of France for sure.
For sure, man. Well, shoot, man, we could talk on here all day, man. I feel like being overseas, man, there's a million different conversations you can have and stuff. But,
sure.
I know it's your off day, so I don't want to take up too much of your time, bro. But I just want to say, man, just from somebody who's followed your journey for a little minute, man, from afar, man, I just want to let you know, man, I love what you're doing with Just Keep Going. I feel like as a hooper myself, I always love seeing other hoopers that are stepping outside of the game, man, and starting other things. And I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes and where the rest of your career goes, man, and just continue to inspire folks, continue to just push that message, man, that you can't quit in this game. You know what I mean? You guys keep putting one foot in front of the other and continue to just keep going. You know what I mean? So coming on the podcast today, we appreciate you, man. And I just want to give you your flowers, man, let you know that you're definitely doing something special. The world is taking notice, man, and to keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
No doubt, man. So last question we always ask all our guests on the What's in Your Bag podcast is, who should we have next on the show? But whoever you say, you got to get in your point guard bag, give us the assist, and help us get him on the show.
Who should you have next, bro? Honestly, bro, you know what? I'll give you two names. I think my boy Chima, that's in Brasconia, or TJ. Chima does a lot of podcasting. He does he's done a few, but I haven't really seen TJ do any podcasts like that, honestly. So I think TJ or Chima would be a great guest to have. But yeah, if y'all need that oof, I got y'all for sure. I for sure got y'all with that.
For sure, man. Let's definitely keep in touch after this, man. See if we can, you know what I mean? Give us the live. Get them on, man. We appreciate that. We appreciate that for sure, man. Sure. Good luck the rest of this season, man. I know you got 3 games left. Finish that out injury free, and then shoot. I hope you had the best summer. You know what I mean? And best luck going forward, man. With wherever you head to next, we'll definitely be following your journey, bro.
Appreciate it. Much love, man. Thank you.
No doubt. All right, guys. This has been another episode of the What's in Your Bag podcast presented by Bet Online. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, giving us a 5-star rating. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It goes a long, long way. This is going to be my guy, Pull Up Tay, on the outro. Until next time, folks. Peace.
Suave. I've been in my bag for a while, I'm invincible. Story of a young boss, grinding shit get critical. Calling on my bros one time, cause you special. I had some hoop dreams of right rounds for my mental. Every target that I shoot is on point like a pencil. Different route, changed relationships, I'm so sorry. Came up from the trenches and I made it, I say hardly. Now